Hi, I'm Benjamin Friedman, and in this video we're going to show you how to make your own set of the four species, the four species. We're going to start off with the esrog. Actually, when you want to pick up an esrog, pick it up like this. This is how it hangs from the tree. That's an oketz. That's where it was attached to the tree. That's where they cut it off. When it starts to grow, it actually grows up like this, but as the esrog gets bigger and heavier, it droops down. So I'll explain to you in a minute why we want you to pick it up upside down to start with. But this is a beautiful esrog we're holding here. It happens to be green. Have no fear. Green's okay. Yellow's also okay. Dark green, like grass, that might be too dark. But this is already lightening up, and as Sukkot comes, it'll get lighter and nicer. You want an esrog to be looking basically like a tower, wider on the bottom, narrower on the top. Esrogim are filled with bumps, and some of them have ridges with bumps. Smooth isn't so good. You want to look at the top of your esrog, pointed at your nose, the field of vision that you see. You want that to be as clean as possible without black spots, for sure no black spots, and preferably, if black spots is invalid, and preferably no brown spots, scratches, marks, or anything like that. That is your esrog. That is min, species number 1 of the 4. Let's move on to number 2, the lulav. The spine should be straight. Many people look at it like this, see if the spine is straight. And you want to see a nice straight spine, which is very nice. Should have a couple of rings around it, which we put on, but that's not part of the lulav. That's something that we add later for Kabbalistic reasons. And we want it to be straight, we want it to be green, we want it to be moist enough so that if you take a leaf and bend it over, it won't snap. If it snaps, then it's already getting to be too dry. And most particularly at the very top of the lulav, you want the leaves to all come to a solid tip. You don't want them to be split. So you take a look at each leaf and you follow it all the way up. Now it's still split just a little bit. That one split just a little bit at the very tippity top. But if you would be split about 4 inches, that would make the whole lulav invalid. As this one is, it's okay. It's just a little teeny split here. Okay? Now we're going to move on to our hadasim, the myrtles, hadasim. And the hadasim come 3 leaves growing on a level. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Going all the way up. If the hadasim grow 2 on one level and 1 below, then that could be invalid. You want the majority, or at least 9 inches of your hadas. Actually, it could be even more lenient than that. Perhaps about 6 inches of your hadas should be covered by leaves that are all 3 on the same level. The hadasim look kind of like eyes, and they actually have a very nice smell to them also. We take 3 of those, 3 of the branches of hadasim. Now, the 4th species is the arava. The arava, preferably, it's a willow, which grows by the river, and arvei nachal is what they're called. Ravine or river willows. It should have a reddish tint to the stalk. The leaves are long. If you look very closely at the edges, the leaves are serrated. They're just a little. They have little bumps on them, but they're not serrated, looking like a saw. If they look like a saw and they've got jagged edges, those are not kosher. These have little bumps on the edges, but basically the edges are straight, and they kind of remind us of lips. We take 2 of those. Now we're going to assemble our lulav. So you take the 2 aravos and push the holder down and slide them in so there's plenty of room. If the holder is very tight, you jam in the aravos, you're going to be stripping off the leaves at the bottom. Do the same for the hadasim, leaving the hadasim a little bit higher than the aravos. See, the hadasim are just a little bit taller than the aravos. So hadasim, the 3, are a little taller. You're going to take the lulav and stick the lulav into the holder. A tricky proposition when you've got a very small holder. But we did it. Okay, you're going to stick it in, slide it down a bit. You want at least 4 inches of lulav sticking out the top. In this one you got plenty. And you should preferably have one of these rings or something holding the whole thing together. You want to hold it with the spine of the lulav, the dark green part, the spine facing you, spine facing me, hadasim, because there are 3 to the right, aravos, because there are 2 to the left. And we're going to take the 3 species, because there are 3 of them, in our right hand. We're then going to take the esrog in our left hand. But the mitzvah is to take it. So as soon as I did the mitzvah. But you know what? I didn't even make a bracha. So I don't want to do the mitzvah, because once I did the mitzvah, you don't make a bracha anymore. You're always supposed to make a bracha before you do the mitzvah. Once the mitzvah is done, too late. And the bracha that we're going to make is Asher Kiddishanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu, that God sanctified us with His commandments and commanded us al netilas lulav, for the taking of the lulav. Well, here I go. I'm going to take it. So I want to not take it. What am I going to do? You're supposed to hold everything in the way it grows. So I'm going to hold the esrog upside down. Because really, when it grows up like this. I'm going to hold it upside down with the oketz. That's the part that was attached to the tree. It's got a cut on the top, because that's where they cut it off the tree. I'm going to hold it upside down. I'm going to hold the lulav in my right hand and the esrog in my left hand. And I am going to make a bracha. The first time I pick up the lulav on the holiday of Sukkot, I'm going to make 2 brachos actually. First bracha is Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu, who sanctified us with His commandments and commanded us al netilas lulav. Then I'm going to also make the bracha of shehechianu. Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam shehechianu, you kept us alive. V'kiyamanu, and preserved us. V'higianu, and brought us lasman hazeh, until this time. I'm going to turn my esrog over. Now everything is pointed in the right direction. And I'm going to shake all around. I'm going to go to the 4 points of the compass. 3 shakes, 3 shakes, 3 shakes, 3 shakes. And then I'm going to go up 3 times and down 3 times. By the way, you want to keep your esrog away from this palm little wicker thing, because it's got a lot of oil in it and it'll make your esrog unclean. Hope you enjoyed this video. Check out all the rest of our videos on this site. And if you want to order anything from us, be sure to call the lulav and esrog man at the Atlanta Scholars Kollel. Have a great Yom Tov.